Hi folks, my name's Chris, I'm 72, I live in a tiny little town called Tomaranui, which is in a tiny little country called New Zealand, which is, depending on your perspective, at the top of the world or the bottom of the world. I've been a Beatles fan since 1964, when the Beatles came to New Zealand for the one and only time, and my big brother was right into the Beatles, and he got me started, and I've never looked back since. I was at school then, I was 11 when the Beatles came. It took me a few years to get into them a bit more as I grew up through my teens, and by the time I started uni in 1971, I bought all their records and just got into them so much that I started uni in 71, and the whole thing's still with me today. Okay, I'm just going to show you around my little Beatles room, and then I'll finish off with a piece of absolutely inspiring music. Pause. So we'll take off around this room, which surprisingly I've called the cavern. I'm not too sure why that is, but it's downstairs. And you can see there's all sorts of things in my cavern, bits on the bottom there related to when I was a kid. But if you're really clued up and smart, you can look at the pictures on the wall and what's around, and you'll pick up a pretty definite theme to this here room. Just up here is my one and only piece of Lego that I've ever done. Very proud of that one. Over here is one of my bookshelves, which I can see a picture of Yoko there. Heaps of CDs and lots of books. Lots of special editions. Even some on the floor. But the floor's very well looked after. Go around here. Lots more pictures. Lots more pictures. And even more important than the Beatles is my beloved wife. Wave Yoko. Yoko's name is Yoka. It's not Yoko, but it sounds pretty cool. More stuff here. I'll just go past there. And this is kind of like my Beatles corner. Even stuff on the floor there still. Beatles. A lot of Paul McCartney archives there. Lots of books. All sorts of little paraphernalia which I'd like to talk to you about over the next few coming weeks. Planning to do maybe a 5 or 10 minute video at the most. I think that's long enough. Lots of DVDs. Hi George. And that's my CD collection there. Okay, now we're going to just finish off a little bit today. It's a bit short today, but I'm going to finish off with a bit of music. Okay, you ready to film this bit? Yeah. Okay, I'll just go and get the music. Now, once upon a time, many years ago, I played the guitar. I only played about 8 or 10 chords. I was never very good at all, but I could strum together a few tunes. But sadly, as I got older, my hands went all funny, and I can't feel the strings anymore. I put my fingers on flat. So that's no good. I tried the piano, pretty hopeless there. And just a couple of months ago I thought, I know what, maybe this will work. I found my old recorder. Actually, it's one of the kids, they all played them at school. So I dragged that out, and I've been trying to play a few tunes on the recorder. I am no musician at all, but I try. So I'm going to play a song today for you, see if you recognise it. When I play my Beatles tunes, here's the best thing. If you can recognise it, it's a success. It doesn't matter about mistakes. And what I've said to Yoko is I'm just going to play it through. If I make mistakes, I'll try and correct them. No editing. Because one, I don't know how to, and B, this is authentic. So for the first song, I've chosen one that goes way back in time. See if you can recognise it. Try again. called Love Me Do. I didn't write that one. So that's the first song I'll play for you, and next week I'll come back with another little snippet. I'll start picking out some things from the shelves. Oh, I'll show you, have to show you this. Show you some more Beatles stuff that's upstairs, and we'll do a few of these every week for a couple months. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.